Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share my 5-star reads, which includes both individual books and series. For series though, I do have a different system where each series gets a general rating and each book in that series gets a separate rating. So for example, just because the series got 5 stars doesn't mean every single book in that series is a 5-star. I hope that makes sense. But before we get started, can we just admire my nails for a second? I got them done yesterday. They're gorgeous. My nail lady slayed. So let's quickly run through my rating system. 0 stars is basically the fuck was that? And why was this book allowed to be published? Fortunately, none of the books I've read got that score, so this industry is still successful. 1 star. I physically could not get myself to finish this book and it put me right through a reading slump. So far I've given 1 book that rating. Yeah. 2 stars is I managed to finish it, but it was painful. Throughout the book I may have seen hopes here and there and wished that it may redeem itself later on. And it did not. So that's a 2 star. 3 stars is like meh, it was an alright read, it was cute, it was adorable, but it was nothing special and it didn't really make me feel much. Like emotional roller coasters, I didn't experience any of those. 3.5 to 4 stars. It was quite an enjoyable read, gave me some sort of emotional attachment. However though, there may have had been some characters or plots that triggered me quite a bit. 4.5 to 5 stars. I absolutely loved it, have made firm emotional connections with it, and has caused certain type of physical reactions like crying, laughter, etc. You get the gist. And lastly, more than 5 stars.
Oh my god! Wow!
It has become a part of me, or it has scarred me, or both. Now looking at my book list again, this video is gonna be a 4.5 to 5 stars read, because if it's only a 5-star read, this video is gonna be extremely short. But I don't think I'm a harsh reader, so maybe I've just not read enough books to have so many 5-star reads. Starting off, we have a contemporary romance standalone, Variation by Rebecca Yarros. I gave this book a 4.5 stars, and the main plot is between a rescue swimmer and a ballet dancer who has a really strict mom. Not as extreme as the mom in this book, but I do relate with the concept of growing up with a strict mom, but as I got older, she mellowed out, so it's all good. But the emotional connection really made this story hit harder for me. And there's not much unnecessary foreshadowing. It got into the story quite quickly, which I enjoyed because like I'm not the most patient reader. And this book managed to have a plot twist that surprised me in less than 100 pages, which is like less than 20% of the book, I think. Yeah, this book is around 450 pages, so. Another highlight of this book is that not a single chapter appeared boring for me. Because of that, I managed to get through it quite quickly. It took me like 1.5 days. And there's also several side plots, so it's not solely focused on the romance between them. This was a hit for me because why would you write 500 pages about 2 people staring into each other's eyes and I don't know, have angsty conversations? Why do I sound bitchy? But yes, 4.5 stars. Maybe a 5-star if I read it again, but at the time I gave it 4.5. Next up, we have the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I gave this series a 5 stars, but if you haven't read Caraval series yet, please read it first and then read this. This series linked back to the Caraval series multiple times throughout the entire 3 books, and this series basically spoils all the important plots and endings of Caraval series. So read that first if you haven't read it. And specifically, I gave the second book a 5-star. This one, The Ballad of Never After. It is more intense and fast-paced than the other two, and the ending of this book, I was shell-shocked and I had a stroke. It was devastating and I felt murderous towards a certain character. That's the kind of emotions we're looking for when you give a book 5 stars, you know. Next up, we have the Throne of Glass series. I'm not carrying it because it's like this big. This series, I gave it 1000 out of 5 stars. Like, I don't accept any other kinds of rating. Like, this is the number it deserves, if not more. And yeah, let's just give it infinite stars out of 5. The world building and the character building are just over the roof. However, this is a very heavily fantasy-based romantasy. So if you're leaning more towards like romance books, this series might be difficult for you to get through. But what really makes this series stand out for me is that the more I think about it, the more it scars me and it will forever be a part of me. And the more I think about it, the higher the rating. So infinite stars. But out of the 8 books, here are the 3 I gave 5 stars to. The first 5-star, Queen of Shadows. The female characters in this series are just badasses, and they have like my full respect, and I aspire to be like them. If you know, you know. This book is 644 pages, and it took me like a day to finish. Next up, we have Empire of Storms. I would say this is one of the most intense books in the series, and there's like a billion things happening at the same time. And there are interconnections between like all the books in this series. There may be like characters that you thought will not come up again in the series, and they reappear. Like, that's just how this series works. And oh my god, the ending of this book. I admire the people who read this series like as they come out book by book, because after this series you have to wait for another like 600 pages to get to the finale, which we're going to be talking about in a short bit. Like, I admire those people. I would have had a stroke if I had to wait after this. And of course, the grand finale, Kingdom of Ash. I gave this 6 stars, actually 5 to 6 stars, and this is 1000 pages. It took me less than 2 days, and this book caused me, I would say, more damage than my A-level exams. That's all I'm gonna say. The next one is a novella, and it was recommended by Faye from Faye Films. This novella is called The Last War We Ever Fought by Wendy Heiss. Her writing is actually very similar to Sarah J. Maas's, but a bit more complicated, I would say. It was a bit difficult when I first started this novella, but once you get used to it, her writing is amazing. Like, Wendy's writing is like there. Yeah, out of the screen. And the novella is about a soldier named Rowan and the god of war. And the ending, it was unexpected, and it caused me quite a bit of emotional damage, and I gave this book 5 stars. The next one, we have Shatter Me series. It's there. You see it? It's sitting right there on the first level of my shelf. Out of this series, I think I would say only the first book and maybe the second book are the hardest to get through out of the entire series. But starting from Ignite Me, which is the 3rd book, I gave all the book 5 stars. Like, the plot does not flop. It just kept on getting better. It has novellas in between the main 6 books. Please read them. Like, it's necessary to read them. Like, it gives you a much better understanding. They're not there. I have it on my Kindle. The next one, we have Fourth Wing series, the Empyrean series, right there. Oh, you can't see it. This series I did give 5 stars. It's not completed yet, but unfortunately on their own, none of them reached that level. Like each book, they had their own ups and downs. If you combine the strength of all 3 books, all of them are like 5 or 6 stars. But then, like for example, Iron Flame, the fantasy aspect of the book is like amazing. Chef's Kiss, however, the miscommunication and the lack of communication, oh my days, no, that moved it down from like 5 stars to like 3.5. Like
no, it was unacceptable. No.
The last book of this video, it's very controversial, but it did get me back into reading, so this was a 5-star read for me. Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Very controversial, and I read it when I was 15, and that's exactly when I started to explore like other books like fantasy, thrillers, etc, etc. I do have to admit though that this was the only good book from her, like at least for me. The other books, no, I didn't. It was so weird. Like there's some of the no, but this one, like she did a good job for this one. But the movie flopped really badly. I really hated it. This is the special edition. I mean, the flowers are kind of cute, right? And that's everything I have for today's video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye!